Longtime Donald Trump supporters. These are politically plugged in New Hampshire voters. 3 of them have served in the New Hampshire state legislature at some point in the past 10 years. If you watched our show on Thursday, you might have seen the clip of them explaining to me why they believe the false claim that there was vast voter fraud in this election to the tune of 3 million illegal votes. But our conversation went further than that. We also talked about the media, including what they cannot stand about CNN. But we start with a recap, in case you missed it, of their claims of voter fraud.
Voting is a privilege in this country, and you need to be legal, not like California, where 3 million illegals voted.
Let's talk about that.
I'm glad I brought that up, Allison.
Me too, Paula. So where are you getting your information?
From the media. Where else would we
media?
get? Some of it was CNN, I believe.
CNN said that 3 million illegal people voted.
Well, it was coming all across the media. All across. Well, CNN didn't do it, then they were being smart this time.
Do you think that 3 million illegal people voted? Doesn't, or do you think 3 million?
I think there was a good amount, because the president told people that they could vote, and it happened in Nashua. We caught some people that they went into Nashua, and they said, the president said I could vote, I'm here illegally.
Did you hear President Obama say that illegal people could vote?
Yes,
yes,
I
heard it this morning, actually.
Yes, I did hear it.
Tell me, where?
You can find it, Google it. You can find it on Facebook.
All right, hold on. I don't want to waste any more time, but anyway, I see where it came from, and it's Fox Business Network deceptively edited a clip of Barack Obama to argue that the president encouraged illegal immigrants to vote, when in fact he had said nothing of the sort when you go back to the transcript. You, as you sit here today, think that millions of illegal people voted in this country. You believe that there was widespread voting abuse.
I think there was in some states.
In the millions of people.
California allows it.
They do not allow illegal. You mean voter fraud? California allows.
I believe there is voter fraud in this country.
Where do you get your news, Polly?
My news. Because I like to be fair and balanced, I like to hear both sides. I'll listen to Lou Dobbs on Fox Business. During the afternoon, sometimes I'll listen to Rush Limbaugh.
I watch Fox, CNN. I listen to Jeff Cooner in New Hampshire, Rush, Hannity, Howie Carr. And my friend sends me a lot of news, overseas news. She feels that those papers report more accurately.
I do watch a little bit of CNN, some Fox. And then I listen to Hannity, and I also listen to Christian radio as well.
Honestly, I listen to CNN again to hear the other side.
Let's talk about that. How do
CNN was brutal. I mean, I don't think they gave Mr. Trump a rest. I mean, they were so brutally.
CNN should be above all of
cynical,
all the nonsense.
What was it that so incensed you?
As far as the media is concerned?
About CNN. Okay. Go ahead. Let's go there.
The media, particularly the mainstream liberal media, and of course CNN's included in that, unfortunately, they're just so one-sided and so against Donald Trump.
And give me an example.
The panels were like 8-1 or 8-2, or even if they tried to divide it up, half of Trump's side still was against Trump, and you'd have Corey Lewandowski, or you'd have 1, maybe 2 against 5
Jeffrey
or 6.
Lord, you'd have Corey Lewandowski, you'd have Kelly McEnany, you'd have Scotty Nell Hughes.
Not together though. You'd have one against
these were people that were hired by CNN to represent the Trump side.
Right,
and they were and by the way, CNN hired more Trump surrogates than any other network.
CNN early on last year, when you had called us on the first time last August, was a lot more open and fair and a lot more balanced. And it seemed as the race went on, they started realizing that this is serious and we need to now start to really hammer him harder.
So you would have liked to have seen more just complete numerical balance on the
because it's not news. It's not news. It's not news. It's analysis. It's analysis. It's
and a lot of lies.
It's making people think a particular way. It's not news.
And hold on a second. What were the lies?
Lies. Okay. Well, specific. A way of lying is to deceive. Okay. So when you deceive, it's the same as a lie. So when you give people the impression that Donald Trump does not have the real support that he has. Keep it just simple. A simple fact is, just at his rallies. Hillary Clinton, a big rally for her would be maybe 1,200 to 1,500 people. And the media would pan around the room and show how huge it was and try to make a big deal out of it. And he'd have 30 or 40,000 people. He'd fill up a football stadium, and they would just narrow in the frame just on him. It gives people out there that are ill-informed the idea that there's just a few people there to see him.
Donald Trump drew a crowd of 30,000.
He drew a crowd of about 6,000.
Thousands of supporters outside and inside Trump's event.
Speaking to a crowd of thousands.
You understand that one camera's on lockdown, right?
Of
for
course.
that.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying that the
Trump should have
reporters
some
never,
network there.
in your mind, even though there was a camera on lockdown, there were other cameras, and the reporters never explained that there were crowds.
Right.
You feel.
All of
Obviously,
these
a lot of
experts and smart
heated-
people were all proven wrong because they didn't realize this was not an election.
What was it?
This was a movement. This was a peaceful takeover of government by the people. And believe me when I tell you something, Donald Trump is going to drain the swamp.
What does drain the swamp mean, Tony, to you?
I feel that it's like cleaning up the corruption that goes on, the good old boys club, where they're putting their own needs and wants and money-making ahead of the people, what the people want. They don't listen to what we want or how we feel or things that concern us. They, as soon as we give an opinion, they're the first to put us down. I mean, obviously what Hillary said, the basket of deplorables. There are good people that support Trump all across America.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't hate anybody.
So, what was your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is that everybody has their own media source that they like and that they go to, and they get their information there. Paulie, I should say, did say that he listens to a liberal radio host, but that part was sort of garbled, so we cut that out. But everybody has, look, this isn't original. People are in their own echo chambers, and they get their own information. And coming up on the show, we're actually going to have people who did the voter fraud study. We're going back to the original primary source for you to tell you what they found in terms of whether there was any actual voter fraud in this election.
We didn't have the time on the show, which is odd because it's a 3-hour-long show. But on YouTube yesterday, I went through all the different studies and what they say and what it is. What you'll see there, I hear this all the time where I live out in Suffolk County. They know that there's fraud in the system. We all know. Trump saying 3 million when you'll be lucky to find 30 cases doesn't matter as much because they know that fundamentally he's right that there's a problem. The 3 million thing is a problem for us because that's a real gross misstatement of fact. It's really wrong. But they believe that if you're right a little bit in a world of politics where they believe nothing, you're ahead of the game.
I understand, but we are in the fact business, and so we are today bringing to you the people who did the actual voter fraud study, so tune in for that.
A lot of news for you. Let's get right to it.